In the Parsha Machs HaShakel state that the Rebbeinu Shlita told Moshe Rabbeinu, this is what you should give. So what does it mean, Zeh Yitnu? Rashi says, harää kemין mטבע shalei, that the Rebbeinu Shlita showed him mטבע of fire. Mishkal Machs HaShakel, the weight of this mטבע, of this coin, was a Machs HaShakel. Harää kazeh Yitnu. Told them this is like this, exactly like this is what you should give. Now, we know that Moshe Rabbeinu was niskasha. He had a hard time understanding. There were a few things that the Moshe Rabbeinu had a hard time understanding exactly what it was that the Rebbeinu Shalom wanted him to make. And the Rebbeinu Shalom gave him a dogma, like we find by the menorah. The menorah, Moshe Rabbeinu, when he didn't know exactly how to make the menorah, and the Rebbeinu Shalom sent down a menorah shel eish to show Moshe Rabbeinu exactly the dogma of the menorah. The shaila is that Moshe Rabbeinu never saw a tzuras matbea, he never saw a coin. Moshe Rabbeinu never saw what a coin looked like. How could it be that Moshe Rabbeinu never saw what a matbea looked like? So why was it necessary for the Rebbeinu Shalom to show Moshe Rabbeinu matbea shaleish? He was, and befrat, he had to. All he had to do was give a matbea of kesef. He had to give a Machs HaShakel of kesef. So the Rebbeinu could have just told him, go see a matbea of kesef, and this is what you should give. He had to show him a matbea shaleish. He didn't know what a tzuras matbea looked like. No, Rov says that Moshe Rabbeinu, what was his shverkeit? What Moshe Rabbeinu have a hard time comprehending? He didn't have a hard time comprehending the tzuras matbea. Rather, Moshe Rabbeinu knew what the form of a matbea was, of a coin was. But Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't wrap his head around that what's the school of kesef? What does it mean, what's the school of kesef? How could it be that kesef, which is the source of all sin, that this at the same time, this should be a kaifa nefesh, this should be something that a person is able to be paid himself with kesef? So the Rebbeinu Shalom showed him a matbea shaleish. The Rebbeinu Shalom showed him a matbea which is made of eish, a fire. That he wanted to show him that kesef is like fire. That just like fire it can be used in two oifana. It's a davar ve'efucha. It means that the Rebbeinu Shalom wanted to show him the two extremes. That fire on one hand can go and destroy. It can be the source of destruction. It can burn. It can consume. And on the other hand, fire can go and it can light up. Fire can warm up. It can provide much needed warmth for a person. So it can be used to destruct, and at the same time it can be used to be meir, to be mechamim, to light up and to heat up. So on one hand it can be used l'roa, it can be used for bad, and it can be used l'toiva. So the Rebbeinu Shalom wanted to show Moshe Rabbeinu this musig, that the same kesef that a person can come to all different types of isurim when it comes to kesef, gneva, gzeila, the tzicha, and all taivas come from kesef. The same time, the same kesef can be used for chesed, it can be used for tzedakah, it can be used to be malbeh harum, to be soymech neiflim, for all davar shebekdusha. A person could take that same kesef, and he can be mekamitz from himself, and he can give it away to others, and he can do tremendous chesed with the kesef. So that's how does a person provide a koyfer nefesh by taking that kesef, which he can use it for his own destruction. He can go and give it away to somebody else, and instead of it being for his destruction, it could be for a koyfer nefesh for him. I wanted to say over something that Rov says. I'm asking about it. The Rov, he says in Parshat Tetzaveh, it says a murder he has. It says that by the parsha of the tzitz, the Torah refers to the tzitz as the nezer hakollel. So he says we find the peladik izah. It says in the parsha of Melech, we don't find that there's anywhere that there's a tzivui that you have to make a crown for a king. By a Melech Yisrael, there's no tzivui in the Torah that you have to make a crown. It's not one of his big day melucha. He's not required to wear a crown. King is not required. But over here, when it comes to the Kohen Gadol, that the Kohen Gadol be'etzem doesn't have any melucha. He doesn't have any memshala on Klal Yisrael. Now, what's the tafkid of the Kohen Gadol? To do the avoid in the Beis Hamikdash. And also it says, Yoru mishpatecha liYaakov v'sarascha liYisrael. They're the ones. The Kohen Gadol is the one who shows the way in Torah, Klal Yisrael. And over here, the Kohen Gadol, there's a chiyuv that you have to make him a nezer hakodesh, that he has to wear a crown. So the one who wears the crown is the Kohen Gadol, and the Melech, there is no tzivui. That he's the one who has the melucha, he has the memshala. There's no tzivui for him to have a crown. So it seems like that there's shleishik sarim. That there's a kasa melucha, there's a kasa kuna. I mean, there's a kasa kuna, there's a kasa melucha, and there's a kasa Torah. The one that has the kasa melucha doesn't have to have a crown. The one that has the kasa kuna and the kasa Torah does have to have a crown. So we see that what's the ikr? Man malki rabban. The ikr is that the one who's nicer, the kisser shal Torah, he's the ikr melech. State that by the parsha melech we say that the safta loy as mishnah Torah zois al sefer mulafnei hakoyanim. The korah by kol yimei chayiv. That fakert, that the one who is the melech, he has to go milafnei hakoyanim. He has to be machmir himself to who? To the Kohen Gadol. Because that's all to teach us that who is the emes melech. The emes melech is the one that carries the crown of Torah. And it says that imarav daimel malach Hashem tzavakis yivakish Torah piu, that the melech has to go and he has to be machni himself to the Kohen Gadol. He has to go and be mekabel from the Kohen Gadol. That and fakert it says that in Navi state that there's a pasuk in Chizuk that says Hasam mitznefes v'horim ha'torah, that when you take off the mitznefes from the Targum Taichas, when you take off the mitznefes from the Kohen Gadol, then it's horim ha'torah. Then the crown from the melech is removed. It means that in the end of Bayesheni, when they changed over the yotzes, it was always the Kohen Gadol that was memane the melech. In the end of Bayesheni, when the melech tried to appoint the Kohen Gadol, it said it didn't take a long time, that there were no more Kohen Gadol, and there was no more malachim. The whole zach was bottled, because v'daf verstehen that man malki rabban, and the melech has to be machni himself to the Kohen Gadol. And the Kohen Gadol is the one who is memana the melech, and not forget that the melech is memana the Kohen Gadol. When the melech is memana the Kohen Gadol, then there's no kiyum cipher the melucha and cipher the kuna gedola. The v'daf verstehen that man malki rabbanon. Who's the emes melech? The one who is nicer. The one who's nicer. The kiss the masculine. The one who's nice to the kiss of Torah, doch the emes melech.